Hi. So today, the boys from Slade are back, and I am very excited. This is called "Cause I Love You." I do know a little something about Slade now, but I don't think I recognize this song. So let's listen together.
I won't laugh at you when you boo-hoo-hoo, 'cause I love you. I can turn my back on the things you like, 'cause I love you. I just like the things you do. Don't you change the things you do. Get me in a spot, that's how the smile you got, and I love you. You make me out a clown and you put me down, I still love you. I just like the things you do. Don't you change the things you do. Bite your lip, you're gonna flip your flip, but I love you. When we're miles apart, you still reach my heart. Now I love you. I just like the things you do. Don't you change the things you do. Only time can tell if we get on well, 'cause I love you. It's best that's by the only side I like, 'cause I love you. I just like the things you do. Don't you change the things you do.
Wow. Really unexpected. That's very interesting. That's not a typical kind of song. I don't know what else to say. You know, I'm surprised by I don't know, I guess I would qualify them as a pop band. Okay, so I guess here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a lot of things during that song, which is it's a very different kind of instrumentation on a song like this, right? Because normally it's filled with drum fills and is with guitar solos, but this is not that. It's a very sort of the beat is just very simple. And they're doing sort of the filling with this one thin violin and then sort of these other vocals that kind of come in at the end. And so it feels kind of very sparse in a way, that I don't know, I wouldn't expect from a band like this. It feels I don't know if they were trying something new, as in trying something new to them, But I think they were definitely making something that they wanted to make as opposed to making something that they thought would sell or something that sounds like stuff that people might want to hear. It felt really like original. Like they were really making that song, not really caring too much if like other people liked it, but this was the song that they wanted to make. You know, I was thinking also about, I don't know if you guys have had the same experience, but I've been thinking a lot about Dee Snider lately. And I'm just going to paraphrase this. This is just what I remember. There was a time in the 80s where, for those of you who do not know, that Dee Snider was the lead singer of Twisted Sister. And in the 80s, everybody was clutching pearls about like the content of rock lyrics and blah, blah, blah. And Dee Snider, who, just Google up a picture, Dee Snider was like, yeah, I'm going to actually put my blue eyeshadow and my wig to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and fight for the First Amendment just for a minute. And he did, boy. He sure did. He really did. And I think I felt the same way the first time that I heard like Henry Rollins talking about, Henry Rollins is the lead singer of Black Flag and like a punk guy. And he was sort of talking about punk. And he was so inside. Now, I'm not sure that Henry Rollins and I are actually on the same page, like in many ways. But he was so, I don't want to say articulate because I feel like that's a little bit condescending. But I remember being shocked that he was able to talk about his genre in a really kind of like academic and really thoughtful way. And that's probably, that is incredibly condescending of me. But like, I remember sort of thinking like, wow, just because this guy's like kind of screaming at the top of his lungs and behind a microphone doesn't mean that he isn't like a really thoughtful person and has contemplated and thinks about these kinds of things really deeply. And I've always remembered what I remember him saying, which is that there's nothing more conservative than punks. Like, punks are the most conservative people. Punks are very concerned about like what is punk and what is not punk. And if you fall outside of these designated lines, then you are out, which is so not punk. Like that's the least punk thing that you could do, right? I thought it was a really interesting insight. I say all of that to say this, like this genre of music, which I would say is sort of like rock and sort of veering towards, I don't know if they head into heavy metal or, whatever, that kind of thing. I don't care for it in the sense that I don't really listen to it a lot, but it's a sleeper, man. Like this genre is a real sleeper. Some of the most incredible vocal performances are from like rage bands, like bands that I find it really hard to listen to, that it's really sort of grating and it's too much for me. But also the quality of like the work that those musicians are doing, even if I can't appreciate it, it's really undeniable. And like the male vocalists in like metal can do some things that are genuinely like inhuman, like off the charts. Unbelievable performances. I don't particularly appreciate the end product, but I can appreciate like what they do. And this is what this song is making me think about, which is that like there's a lot of creativity in this genre that I do a lot of sort of writing off as like, yeah, it's not my thing. Like angry dudes, like, still mad at mom and dad, kind of like banging on pots and pans and making noise. But in fact, there's like a lot of creativity here and a lot of sort of when you're in that genre and you really kind of don't care what people think, you can create some really incredible stuff. I'm not sure that I loved this song, but I do love that it made me think about this music in that way. And so that's what I really appreciate. I was right. I was like, I'm going to need to find out more about this band. And I only feel more so. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will be promoting Slade on this channel from now on. Yeah, did I like it? I'm not sure I liked it, but I'm glad I heard it. I'm glad I listened to it. It made me think. It made me think a little bit.